you know, not unless we can get somebody else. I said, because I said, I can't do that with those two guys by themselves. I said, that LP don't work like that. You
No.
know, it's no good if I don't have some decent personnel out there. And so Newman was over there, and I asked Newman if I could borrow Rosella. And he said, yeah. He said, you can have him. So, because that was who was out there with me on that 4 that night.
So
What night was that?
that was the
24th.
night
The 24th.
Yeah, before
24th.
we got hit.
It was probably, like I said, I mean, if you looked at it technically, our watches went from 10 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning. And so, but we moved out there about, I guess, about 8 o'clock. I don't know, 7 or 8 o'clock. We moved the LP out to what was going. We still set up there for the night.
Sure.
And so,
So the next day when we moved up the valley, Newman's third squad,
for the first time, that's what I say,
they were on the left.
that they was on the flank because
Yeah.
we had the flank the whole way through that. That's what I
We
said.
did.
We lucked out on that.
Yeah, they were on the left flank. There was like, I guess Newman and Hines and
Well, Hines and all them was in his.
yeah,
His
everybody
squad.
was in his squad to my left. But Hines and I don't know who else stepped into the tree line.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was about
Well,
5 meters, ahead of what the others, because as we came up, that drop-off bank got closer and closer to us, so they had to shift. You had one fire team on point, kind of ahead of us. I know Hines was up there. To my left was Moselle, Krasinski, and Bob Ryan. And when they opened up,
if Bob was there, then the lieutenant had to be with him because, see, that was what Bob was doing, was carrying radio from him.
Bob didn't have no radio on when I got to him.
When you got there, he didn't, but he
I
was
don't know who got it.
not moving to it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because Bob was carrying that radio for the lieutenant. And so I had to, in that particular case, there may have been 5 of them. If you
Could've been.
remember when we started out and they called us back and then we started back out again, when we moved out that second time heading for them, we was in team wedges.
Yeah.
And so the wedges, and that's what I was going to say, are 4 guys, except, but him carrying it with that lieutenant with him, there may have been 5 there, if that counting the
Could have
lieutenant.
been because I didn't pay that much attention to who was there until they opened up.
Yeah.
And they opened up on the far left flank, and I guess the guys in the trees were the first ones to get hit. But there
They're the closest, probably.
Well, they had already passed some spider holes.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
And-
and that was done intentionally, you know that.
Oh.
But I'm still saying they were
Yeah.
still the closest, probably to that.
And they
to
were
that-
out. They were out of my sight, okay?
Yeah.
Because they had gone into the kind of the underbrush and the trees there. When they opened up, I don't know whether Bozell got hit or not, but when it came across, and of course it hit Ryan in the shoulder, and when it came across, it cut leaves off above my head, and they're like fluttering down, and it's like slow motion now.
What?
What the hell's going on? I look over and there's guys all over the ground, So I hit the ground and I got behind a dike out there and I opened fire. And I don't know how he got there, but a Hispanic guy from the first platoon. I meant nothing thinking. Sosa was on the other side of the dike. I didn't know it, and I was just blasting away. And when I went to change magazines, I saw his head raised up on the other side of the dike, and I don't know if he had been hit or not, but he was bleeding from the ears because my muzzle was right over his head. And so I changed the magazine, which I had one hell of a time getting it out because my hands were just soaking wet. My whole body was wet. It was 100 and some degrees out.
Yeah, they said it was an average 120.
Yeah. So I looked over and Ed Brzezinski was on the ground. So I took off, kind of crawled out there, and Eddie had a little black dot right here. I went to pick him up, and of course, his whole back head gone. He had his law extended. He had already been shot through the wrist and had put a wrap on it. I mean, that fast, yeah. And he raised up, I guess he had probably seen his target. Raised up and fired, and I guess a sniper or something hit him right between the eyes almost. Right here.
If you ever paid any attention, I know where the sniper was.
Huh?
If you paid any attention as that thing took place, I know where the sniper was that got him.
Word.
If you remember when they strafed through there and come through and dropped that napalm,
Yeah.
that's somebody come out of that tree. That tree up on
Really?
top of that.
Yeah.
He come out. I mean, because when he dropped that napalm, and you remember it come down in
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it lit him up, and he come out of that tree, and he was up there at a high enough elevation when poor unlucky Edwin he set up. I
Yeah, I
mean,
didn't see
he
that.
seen him probably before he set up, or as soon as he set up. I mean, he had him.
Now, didn't you go get Brzezinski's Law?
Yes, I did.
And then you fired it.
I fired that at a machine gun nest
Yeah.
that I saw, and it kept firing, and it was within grenade range, but it was right up in there where Hines and them were,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, it kept firing. I lobbed a grenade on him, and it stopped. I was out there where Brzezinski was when that was going.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brzezinski was dead. Everybody was still flopping around out there, the ones that were wounded. Moselle was crawling like hell to the rear. I mean, yeah, he was on all fours with his rifle, and he was getting
He was getting
toward the rear. I don't know whether he'd been hit or not. He wasn't moving like he was hit. He was just getting the hell out of there. So I come back because I had passed Ryan on the way out, and so I checked on Brzezinski. He was dead. Nothing I could do for him. Come back, Bob Ryan was there, and he had been shot through the shoulder, and he was having some problems there. And I said, Bob, just relax. I'm going to pull you back in, and started dragging him back toward that little tree line. There was a rise right there, and that's where Klingman was, sitting on that rise. He'd done been shot in the stomach.
Yeah.
Because he was carrying a radio.
Okay.
Klingman was carrying a radio. So maybe Ryan passed the radio to Klingman, and he was carrying it to the lieutenant, because that's where the radio was. And
Okay.
Ryan was out there. I didn't see anyone else out there before I got there. And so I started dragging Ryan back in, and Charlie shows up from back over toward the right, where that hump was. He showed it up down there, and he gets a hold of Ryan's other arm, underneath the shoulder. Well, we were laying on our backs, pushing like this, and when I brought my knee up, the guy popped out of a spider hole right there at the edge of the woods and ripped an AK-47 at us, and it kind of went